So first and foremost, I would like to welcome every one of us to this our section. It's a great privilege and honor to work together with you to have you on board. Welcome to the firm InnovaTech Academy. You are all welcome. We are all welcome. I believe probably most of us are into tech before. Probably we've done something before in tech. I mean, probably we've been like chasing a career in tech before. We just want to, explore more as touching what is in tech today. And we understand how technology is growing up always in the whole world and in our environment. And it's now time for every one of us to know use technology as an advantage to whatever we do in our daily routine. Uh, for the sake of this class, I'll be handling the data class where we'll be learning together and within the uh, schedule of the scholarship. Today, we basically we're going to look into the fundamental of data. Look what data is. I believe every one of us knows that we know the reason, like there is a reason why we just felt like, oh, I want to go for data analytics. This is what I want to do. Please let's try to mute ourselves. Please let's try to mute ourselves. Please, is it Mr. or Mrs. Omole? Please kindly mute yourself. Please kindly mute yourself. All right. We've been like looking into the fundamental of data. What is data? What how the data works? What do we actually like? Why do we actually need data in what we do? And how people use data? I believe probably this section might be the one that is going to change our mindset as touching data. What data really mean? Probably this section might change our mindset about that. Please a minute. Let me try to share my screen for us to see what we have to do today. Oh, I believe my screen is visible to everyone. Please.
No, no, not yet. Okay, no, yes.
All right. As I said earlier, we are from the firm InnovaTech Academy. We deal with all tech track from data to UI, from UI to software development, graphic design, or even book creations. We are all there. But in this, just that in this cohort, we just try to just make the course like just make the course make it for in order for because we decide based on the experience we had in the previous cohort. That is data working for us now, even as an academy now. Data is working for us from what we have done before, or we try to look what have happened before, and we try to use what have happened before, to decide on what we need to do in the next cohort. Data is something that grows us, make us make a very good decision in all what we do. Okay, so moving forward today is going to be a foundational class, and we are still going to look into some things together during the course of this teaching. What we are going to learn today at the end of the teachings today, we have our learning objective here, which is everyone is going to understand what is data, explain data analytics. Please, a minute. Okay, explain data analytics, know the importance of data, differentiate between data and information, and understand career opportunity that is inside data. Also, we are going to understand the analytics process and become familiar with Microsoft Excel interface, how it looks, how we works around Microsoft Excel, how we actually use Microsoft Excel to actualize like just achieve what we have in mind to achieve. Okay, moving forward in what we have today. The first question is what is data? Like it's just the questions to us, what is data? Data simply refers to a raw fact, figures, observations, or measurement collected from different sources. What this like what this definition just means is just that data is just like, okay, the number of people on call right now. We have a number of people, we have different genders, we have different age. In fact, we have different complexions and all of that. They are all data. But it's not like based on what when we want to make the decisions, that is when we now make it like that is when you now turn to an information, because we have tried to bring sense out of the data we have. What I mean by that is that we have a lot of people on call right now, whereby we are in different gender, we are in different location, we are in different like we have different even heights, and all of that. They are all data recorded for your own. Like a data being recorded for you, you as a person on call, they record a data for you, your sex, your name, your phone number, your height, your complexion, your age, and all of that is actually the data. But it's not like now when we want to like when we try to just bring some facts, like bring some facts and we try to make it make sense. That is when you now turn to what an information, because you've gotten an information from them. Probably you want to tailor, like probably we want to just try to segment people on call now from teen to adult, from adult to old. We can actually use that. No, since we have a data that's like cover all those things, we can actually get information that we want to get through the data we have. Oh, we try to segment people that are under teen, we try to segment them one place. People that are adult, we try to segment them one place. And people that are old, we try to segment them one place. That is actually like explanations that I can actually give to data. Again, it's just example 25 mil Lagos 1,000, I mean 150,000 is they are all a data. They are all data. And we have like differentiate. We said there is difference between data and information. There is difference between data and information. We have data as raw facts, for fact that we have not, in fact, there is no sense in it. It's until we make sense from that data, that is when what is turned to a processed fact, meaning that it is now making sense to us now. Okay. We have another one which is no meaning. No meaning. Like another difference is that raw data is just like raw. There is no meaning for it. You can just be like it's just a number. It can be a pictorial. It can be a text, but there is no meaning for it until we make it make sense. Okay, and information is something that has a meaning. It's meaningful. It's actually meaningful. Information is something that is very, very meaningful, meaning that we have actually bring some facts from some data, giving us an information which is now meaningful. Okay. We have another one is used for processing, like used for processing, like you just need to process data before you can actually derive something good from it. Okay. And we have information that it is used for decision making. Information is actually used for decision making. We can actually use it for making a decision. After we've tried to analyze everything, we try to get something tangible from the data that we've analyzed, and we are trying to use that what that analysis to make a decision that will actually help us in any way. That is some different facts about data and information. Now, moving forward, we have the question again that what is information? What is information? Information is the process, organized, and meaningful data that help people make decisions. Okay, information is processed, is being processed, like it has been processed, it has been organized, and now meaningful data, like and a meaningful data that help people make decisions. A meaningful information, things that you try to extracted from the data that you have before, now giving you like things that can make you make decisions, things that have make you make sense for you now. That is actually information. Information is actually something being derived, something being extracted from the data you have before, in order for you to make it to like to have a good decision making. Okay, please, if there is any time that you couldn't hear me again, please kindly let me know, probably on the group chat on WhatsApp. Please kindly let me know. And we have information like raw data. We have like information. We have like name. John, probably John have 10,000 naira is an information, but Mary have 20,000 naira is an information. Okay, information is something that we know about you. Simple. Things about you. Oh, you are 40 years old or 30 years old or dark in complexion and all of that. Those are what? Those are information about you. Please just a minute. I think some people are trying to. Okay. Moving forward. So why data matters? I mean, why data analytics? Why does it matter? I mean, this data of a thing that we're talking about. Why data matters? Every organization depends on data. Quote me anywhere. Any organization, they depends on data. Oh, talks about hospital. They use data to monitor patients. Think of it how data how doctors discover what is actually happening to you. How doctor actually diagnose you and they now tell you that this is actually what is wrong with your body system. Is like they get some data from you and they pick some facts from that data and they mix like they analyze and they tells you that oh, this is actually what is wrong with your body system. Hospital they uses data. We have bank also use data. They use data to detect fraud and all of that. Think of it how like banks like probably on Sunday your birthday first to on Sunday and you just receive a kind of message wish birthday wish from bank on Sunday which it is a closing hours for them. Imagine you think like that you should know that it's a data that is working for them. They have actually like algorithm of their system have picked the date of your birth and it sends you a birthday wish automatically. Schools use data to monitor student performance. You think of it as you go to probably the end of the party of your children and you now discover that oh they say your child is the one that is best in mathematics, best in English, best in isn't a data and they try to extract some facts from it for them to make a decision that this is the person that the app actually fits. Okay. We have businesses uses data to increase profit. Yes, they use data to increase profit. They try to look the trend of their profit, the trend of their sales, probably quarterly or yearly or probably monthly based on like decision like how they want to measure or how their organizations work and runs. Businesses use this data. They try to like they might just like try to check into the trend of their profit, the trend of their sales, the trend of their product, which product is actually doing well this month. Okay, probably they have a lot of branch, which branch is actually doing well this month. Probably they have a lot of sales rep. Oh, which sales rep is actually doing well this month? Who is the retail like the host, like the shop that is actually doing well? They like based on the data they've gotten from all those people, they can actually make decisions like, oh, are we making progress? Oh, are we going down? What should we do? Government uses data for planning. Think of this as when issue of COVID-19 happened in Nigeria. Every day we receive an update on the cases of COVID that they just cases of COVID-19 they just discover now. You think of it, you see like data allows the government to just tells you that okay, these are the numbers of people that now contacted COVID now in Borno, in Ogun State, in Delta State, in Lagos State, and they give us those like they just give us outcome of what they have gathered together for us to know what is actually going. How do we know that we have like probably billions of people in Nigerians or in the whole world? How do we know the highest in populations country in Nigeria is based on the data that we got. Moving forward, what is now data analytics? What is now data analytics? Data analytics is the process of inspecting, please, the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and analyzing data to discover useful insight for better decision making. Data analytics is the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and analyzing data to discover useful insight for better decision. Why did inspecting come first before cleaning, before transforming, and before analysis? Whatever data being given to you, you need to inspect it before. After the inspection, that is when you will now know how can I handle this cleaning, this data cleaning. We used to have data that is dirty. Is when you are done inspecting it, you can now say, okay, all right, I can now use this method to clean this data. And once you are done with cleaning of the data, you can now move further toward transforming it. And after you are done transforming it, you want to analyze the data to discover useful insight for better decision making. Okay? And data analysis help us answer questions like it helps us answer questions because after the whole analysis, you now what? You now use your analysis to answer questions that in fact the MD cannot answer, the directors cannot answer. That is why if you are a businessman, if you are a businesswoman, you need to base your decision that you are making in your business, you need to base it on what? On your data. Moving forward, then why learning data analytics? Okay, why is now like why is it good for you to learn it, like to be an analyst or to learn data analytics? The data analytics is among the fastest growing career. Think of, like, imagine a career that virtually every, like, it's not even virtually, the whole business sectors, like industry in the whole world, they use this. So it means that it's going to be a growing and fastest career in tech in Nigeria. Please, is my screen visible?
No, sir. No,
Oh,
sir.
all right. Sorry, just a minute. What about now? All right. It's high in demand. Very easy for you to just do a remote job, freelancing opportunity, businesses decision making, career switch opportunity, international opportunity. Even so, for someone like me, this is not what, like, I didn't like study data analytics in school. Be it probably is probably as like what's the this course in university. Probably I don't study even computer science or computer engineering. I study survey and geomatics, but find myself in data analytics, UI UX, and all of that today. Data, these are the, I just want to just brief us as the career path in data. These are the career paths. You can just choose after the whole learning process, you can just choose to become a data analyst. You can choose to be a business analyst or data scientist, financial analyst, marketing analyst, healthcare analyst, and operations analyst. It's just based on what's your own choice, what we want to build, and you pick your own path. Moving forward, we have typical data analytics workflow. In any like professions, that should like there is always a workflow, how they work, how do they operate. But in data analytics, you want to analyze the data. There is also a workflow for that, which is you collecting a data. If probably your data is primary data, not secondary this time around, you collecting the data, and once you are done collecting your data, you clean the data up, and after cleaning it up, you analyze the data, and after analyzing up the data, you visualize your results and you make your decision. Okay, and you make your decision. Tools used in data analytics. These are the tools that we use in data analytics. you know Microsoft Excel is just the model of, like, it's just the model of the whole tools. That is why it is always at the first, like at the top of those tools. It is the model of any analysis, and virtually every business owners today, industries, they use Excel, which is Microsoft Excel. And we have another one, SQL. SQL is another tools, powerful tools. In fact, any data analyst that doesn't know how to use SQL, they are just a dashboard builder. They are just a dashboard builder. Anybody that is an analyst that cannot use SQL, that person is just a dashboard builder. More like someone that is just doing design, graphic design. Another tool is Power BI. Another tool is Power BI. And we have another one which is Python. A lot of us might have heard about Python before. Another one is Python. And we have another one called Tableau. Another one is Google Sheets that we all know out there, which is an online worksheet that we can actually use. And in fact, you can still use Google Sheet as a team. And we have another one as R programming. R programming is also like it's just like code editors, also more related to Python, but basically it's basically for scientists. Okay, they use it like most scientists, like all those mathematicians, like math and statistic people. They basically use R programming language more. Moving forward, then why we start with Excel? Like, what is the reason why we start Excel with Excel? Excel is the foundation of, as I said earlier, Excel is the foundation of any analysis. Nearly every company uses Excel. It teach logical thinking. Even before you handle any tools, like you are thinking logically already because you are using Excel. And many companies interview with Excel. If you go to an interview today, a lot of companies interview with Excel because they want to know how logical you are, how you can reason, how you can because they understand that in as much that you can handle Excel, you can be able to handle any other tools used to analyze. Moving forward, moving forward, we have we just have a practical section that uh we have a practical section that we are going to look into some things together. But before that, please, if you have any question, please kindly unmute yourself. Please kindly unmute yourself and let me hear the questions that uh you have before I switch to, because I want to try to switch to another screen so we can see what we have to do in. Please, do you have any persons that have question? Builder. Is not an analyst though. Is a dashboard builder. Yes, dashboard builder. Because the reason why that person is a dashboard builder is that a lot of, if you eventually got a job, if they are giving you a data, they are not giving you, they like a lot of company will not give you they will not give you data in Excel format. They are giving you as database. And you are using SQL to query out those database, bring out the main data that you want to like analyze. In a database, we have a lot of data inside database. Probably we have product data, we have customer data, we have staff data, we have sales data, we have report data in just one in one backend database that is only the companies that have access to that. So when company is giving you your company, once, like, if they are like developers, like the backend people like giving you their data, they are giving you in what? They are giving you in um not in SQL, I mean not in Excel format, but they are giving you just raw files. So it's now you now go back to your what? You go back to your Microsoft Ally, you go back to your SQL to query out the particular data that you want to work with. Do you get it now? All right, thank you. Please, do we have any other persons that have question? Uh, please just give me a minute. I want to try to switch this screen for us to go into the particular space that we have. Okay. Let me try to. I want to try to stop sharing. Okay. I want to reshare. Let me share my entire screen. Now, I believe my screen is visible. All right. Now we have a lot of tabs, ribbons that we're working with when using this particular product. I mean, when we are using Excel, we have file tab, we have home tab, we have insert tab, we have page layout, formula, data review, and view. All these tabs, they are all things that we are going to be working with, as I just believe by next week, I mean by next class, we'll be like going into, because in the VM we actually believe in one thing, which is practical, which is practical. We actually believe in that. So we'll be using a lot, like all of this a lot. Please, if you don't have Excel on your, you don't have Excel on your PC, please kindly get it down before the next class. And in my down part, like we have a lot of sheet. This we have a lot of sheet. When this thing are like, we have like three sheet on this now, which is that this particular Excel that I open now is now a workbook, because I have like three other sheet inside it. We have like three other sheets in inside, because we are going to be working with a lot with sheets. We are going to be working a lot with sheets. Working a lot with sheet. We are going to be working a lot with sheet, because this sheet now we can just have our data on this sheet, and we have our charts on other sheets, before we now have our dashboard sheet, whereby we are going to be combining like the whole chart that we've tried to extract from the data we have. We are going to be expanding, like gathering it together to make it a dashboard. Okay. Think what else I want to show us. Think we have like, I believe we are conversant with Office before, but it's just that what is going to just be different here is just that we're going to be using it differently, whereby some formula from logic, we are going to be looking into that. But I just want us to get prepared on what we have to do in our next schedule. Okay. Okay. I think, please, a minute. I think, do I have any other person that want to join the meet? Okay. So I think that is what we have for today. But before that, I will, sorry, just a minute. I will try to drop. I will drop. I will be dropping. I will dropping a link to the group chat now, please. To the I mean on this call now, for us to just fill in our attendance. Please kindly fill in your attendance, so we can just know that you are part of today's class. So please kindly use this link to fill your attendance. Again, I think we have a very little quiz that we're going to do together. Please, I will be coming. Just a minute.